friends, I thought that I would give you an early morning garden tour because I think we're supposed to be in the 80s today. And I sniffle a lot because apparently at my age I acquired allergies, I'm assuming. So Thomas was asked to water everything last night by Jean, and he watered the garden, which is fine, but I said, don't, please, from here on out, don't water the tomatoes from up above. So in case you don't know that, you're better off watering tomatoes from the bottom. So I started mulching everything over the weekend. This is the cucumbers. I have one right here that's getting ready to start vining up. I'm going to put a smaller trellis here. It's all different types of cucumbers. It's a lot in this area, but we're going to push the limits this season. So there's a sunflower right there. I'm not sure if it's a Queen Anne. I think it is. Baby cucumber. There's a baby cucumber over there. So we have burpee. No, we have pickling. I don't know why I just said burpee. Let me see. Like a straight 8 burp bliss. And then it took me a hot minute. One of these, I think that one in the middle is that supposed very prolific cucumber. I think mine was from Haas Tools, not really sure. I put in 2 marigolds. I'm gonna have to snip off the one end. So cucumbers. I'm trying to leave myself a path to be able to get through here, but I had to mulch. I can't take the weeds. Hopefully it helps it. And then zucchini, and look what the bloom is open. There's a baby zucchini right there, and a sunflower. More zucchini. I think I did cocozella, green zucchini, yellow summer squash, and this is, I think, an early prolific one. So there are some babies, and then there's 2 bigger ones, but we have a bloom that's open, and it looks fatter, so that looks like a female to me. Hang tight just a second. Okay, so I just took one of the blooms that fell that was a male. That looks like a female, and I just self-pollinated it myself. I also have, can you see? Maybe not. I have a nasturtium right there. And then I have a nasturtium right there, very close to the zucchini. I watched somebody's channel that said, if you plant nasturtiums with your zucchini, it'll vine around it, and it'll help with the squash worms and other bugs. There's a nasturtium on that one as well, so that's looking good. This one is not looking good, but that's okay because I was having a really hard time getting things to germinate. So I took one of the empty whiskey barrels and I planted green zucchini, a yellow and white zucchini from Haas Tools, and cocozella. Worst case scenario, I'll just plant it right in there, and that's one of Jean's that are dead. So this is the zucchinis. Over there, the big one should be borage. And then I have porcupine calendula, and then just a few zinnias to bring in pollinators. And then I planted some more tomatoes. These are the big rainbow and my Kellogg's breakfast. There's actually, I planted this one right there, and it has 2 planted together, so I may have to fix that. The reason why this isn't mulched right there is because I did the big leaf basil, and then that one is looking a little bit better, not the greatest. I've had probably a couple different incidents with one particular hole. One hole with the tomatoes, I stuck a tomato in, it just wasn't doing good. I had to pull out like 2 or 3 and then replant something else. And then I had that happen to me with peppers as well. I really don't know what that was about, but thank God I had some extra peppers, even if they were baby peppers. Okay, so sunflower, like I said, borage. I think it's porcupine calendula. I planted a lot of calendula. That whole bucket's full of calendula and borage. So this was all mulched and done. Here's the tomatoes. You could see probably the little baby seeds. It's so early here, I can't even think of the name of the basil. That's the one right there that was really struggling the other day. If I cut off that bottom leaf, it should be okay. Dr. Winchie's, the big rainbow tomato, and my Kellogg's breakfast. And you can see the whole row of basil that I did. But here's the tomatoes. This is one that I've had to take out like 4 different times because the tomato plant wasn't doing good, and now this one doesn't look too bad. If you were here before, I disclosed that there was some digging and some tops of things being taken off. So let me finish. All tomatoes. Peppers. I added more peppers in. So we have rows of peppers. But this one here, something came along and bit the head off. So basically, it's looking better, but all it's going to do is it's going to bush out. And I don't cut any of the tops of my peppers off. I just let them grow straight up. I've never cut them off. So let me see. Green bell pepper. Some tags I recycle. Some plants I have the tag with it. Green bell pepper. Sweet banana pepper that I put in over the weekend. This is Big Bertha. This spot here, let me back up. This spot here, I've had umpteen amount of peppers in here and they just keep dying. So far, this one's looking good. I think that's an orange bell pepper. This is the one that got bit, and it might be an extra sweet banana pepper. I have giant Marconis in here. I have orange, I have yellow. I have jalapeno, and I have another jalapeno right there. This is red bell pepper. It's got blooms on it, looking good. It's got some water on the plants, as you can see. And I'm hoping this mulch will help with the watering factor and the weeds. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not done by a long shot, but if I see a little weed next to the pepper plants, I can just pull it out. Makes it a little bit easier. Let me see. Cubanella sweet pepper. Shishito pepper. I forgot I didn't grow any, so I grabbed like 2 or 3. I think one's inside my green stalk. Giant Marconi. This one here, let me see. Let's see. This one here might be a Big Bertha. Red bell. But you see, this was growing bent. So, I don't know if I have any more spikes here, but hopefully this one does pretty good. Red bell. Jalapeno. So yeah, just all different types. King of the North is in here. Just some of my favorite. Carmen Italian. I think I grabbed a Carmen Italian, but I didn't, well, planted a Carmen Italian, but didn't put the label with it. Because if you know, my tray kind of got moved out here. And yeah. So Black Beauty eggplants. There's the peppers. Hopefully you're seeing this good. Black Beauties. I got this Chinese one because I loved that the year before. Rosa Blanca. I had to put a cage over that Rosa Bianca. And I think this one just got chewed. Let's take a look. Trying to do this early in the morning before it gets crazy. So yeah, let's switch this and put this here to protect it. So these are all Rosa Biancas, which are looking good. And this is actually called the Itchy Band type. It's a Japanese eggplant. I had to take the lower leaves off because they were really, really bad. I put a sunflower there and a sunflower there. Beans. It's been an ongoing battle. I planted more beans. We'll see what happens. Celery's looking good. And then I did do a whole row of sunflowers right alongside of the peppers instead of, you know, putting them in with the tomatoes. I do have one that's right there close to the tomatoes. And then, like I said, the beans, they're a little bit better, but I had to keep planting beans. Celery. This is the broccoli, which this is where we're at. I see one head so far. Oh, there's two, so little yet. And if you know, was hoping that this would do well quickly. It's cooler here this morning, so. And then the onions, all the cabbages. I put an extra sunflower over there. Cabbages are looking great. The leeks are hanging in there. They just don't look all the best, but the onions are doing good. So red acre cabbage. And then this is a faster cabbage, but this one's small. It's the Emerald Cross cabbage. And then something got to one of my red acre cabbages. But there's the Walla Walla onions. They're looking good. And some of the leeks are looking good. This is not mulched. This has a lot of weeds. I'm debating if I should mulch. I don't think that it makes sense to, I don't think it makes sense to mulch the broccoli because that's going to be coming out. So, and then as the season goes on with the snowball cabbage, I will do the trick that I always do, and that is to take the leaves. Let me pull this weed out. I will take the leaves when the head starts forming, and I will close it all up with a rubber band so it protects the head. So yeah, I still have this to weed. You can see, maybe you could see the weeds under that red acre cabbage. It is what it is. You're gonna have weeds, right? But this is what it looks like with the mulch. Shredded hardwood mulch. Here's all the tomatoes. It's Roma's. And then Big Boy, Better Boy, Big Rainbow, Dr. Witchy's, and my Kellogg's Breakfast is over here. So far, so good. So, I don't know if the onions should be mulched. If somebody knows that, leave me a comment down below. I might add an OS cross right there since I have an extra. Why not? And let me see. I have leeks back here that are doing pretty good. And then I have leeks all in this row right here. So, but that leek didn't look like it made it, but that's okay. So I think I might just have everything planted in here that I could absolutely plant because it's not that big. It's like an 11 by 20. And I think the main staples are in here. And I have extra pepper plants and extra squash. I still have to finish out one row on my green stalk and 3 rows on my newer original green stalk. But there's a lot of blooms on a lot of these tomato plants. If I'm in here, I just give it a little jiggle. That one, a bloom just fell right off. And I'm keeping my eye on this one. I will just trim the bottom leaf off. I do have these tied up. I don't know if you could see that. I have them all tied, except that one that I just noticed. Okay, I have that one to tie, and if it was really little, I didn't tie it. But I tied up a good majority of the tomatoes so I can start single stemming them. And these were just recently planted, not that long ago. I think these two were before the weekend, and these were this weekend. But that one has 2 tomatoes in there, and I don't know. I'm going to have to probably dig it up and separate it, or that's going to just be crazy. This one right here has 2 Kellogg's breakfasts. I might have to separate it. And I stuck one right there because I'm just trying for more room. So yeah, wanted to give you an early morning garden tour. As far as over here is concerned, I can show you what's going on. That's pretty much everything in the garden. What do you think? Should I can't put mulch around the beans yet because there's other beans that have to come up. The celery, I might end up mulching that. The broccoli, I'm not going to mulch because that will come out sooner than later, hopefully. And then this is all that I have left. It's this last bag of mulch. I might go back there and mulch around the cabbages, especially the ones in the back because they'll be there the longest, and I'm not sure about mulching around onions. So again, if you know the answer to that question, please leave it down below. And I'm going to probably grab the little black trellis for these here in the front so they have something to climb. I really do think still that the weather, it's been weird, hot, but gets colder at night and chilly in the morning. And I told you on the last one that I thought these were stunted. This one's looking better. This one is still kind of on the smaller side. That one there is still kind of small. And this one here is kind of small. And it has a yellow leaf. So I'm just going to try to... Oh, I'll just wait and get scissors. I'll take off that yellow leaf. And sunflower right there. I did give this all a feeding of fish emulsion about 2 weeks ago. But I think it got so hot that all this here was all done fish emulsion. But back there, the cabbages only got a little bit. I might have to give them another feeding because cabbages, you know, they're heavy feeders. Okay, so look, I have 2 OS Cross still sitting here. I might put that in the garden. I have extra peppers. Debbie tried to give me hot pepper plant, hot cherry pepper from seeds I gave her, and we'll see what this one does, but I don't know if it's going to make it. And this is one I took out of the garden that bit its head off, and I planted some kale, so it's just coming up. This is the pot that I want to use for most likely carrots or something else. But in my phone, I recorded what I did. I think I took 2 out. I put 3 green zucchini. I put the yellow and white stripes from Haas Tools in the middle. And then this is Cocozella. So the one that's not looking too good, because, you know, I can't put them too close together. I wish I could. But I'm going to plant one of these Cocozellas in there because they do really well. But look at my OS Cross. It's doing amazing. If you're not familiar with an OS Cross is, it is like an Alaskan cabbage and it can get really, really large. I planted some zinnias in between, extra zucchinis right there, more zinnias. That is white kohlrabi. And then I'm just not sure. To be really honest with you, I'm just not sure. I was planting meat squash and it didn't come up. But it looks like there might be one there. Didn't label it. So I'm not sure what this one is right here. I just took the cardboard off yesterday. I have a zucchini back here. It's a stray. And then zinnias, sunflowers. This is butternut squash. And then the honey nut squash, I think. Or buttercup squash is right there. So I'm just using this as an extra area to grow things. And this one's empty. So it's my extra trays of things that I grow. So maybe some beets, maybe some carrots, but I have to find a spot for that. But this is amazing and it's just doing great. And I put bone meal, blood meal in here, Epsoma organic fertilizer, and that's it in my whiskey barrel, and it's doing really, really good. Sunflowers over there. That one there doesn't look too good. I mean, I literally had, I don't know what kind of animal. These are gorgeous. What kind of animal, but they were like digging up my sunflowers right out of the tray. That looks like peppers. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do the rest of my green stalk with just all peppers. I have more basil. That's extra broccoli. So yeah. And then originally over there, I had a squash that attracts the bugs. So I moved it. Thanks, Adrian from Indiana Backyard Gardener. I put one there. Move, Coco. I put one there and I put one right there. So those squash bugs and stuff, maybe they'll come over here. But look at my cosmos. My cosmos are doing great. And then my salad bar is back here. He said he watered this last night, and I was like, how? The hose doesn't reach. I pulled out all of my spinach and gave it to the chickens, and I went in with beans, and this is the one that doesn't turn because I'm using the wheels. So everything's still looking pretty good, but it's back here in the shade, so it doesn't bolt as quickly. But it was baby spinach, and that kind of did bolt. And then my petunias. So yeah, this spinach here is doing fine. I'll have to cut it, but I don't know. This could be the possibility, beginning of a bolting. But let me show you what Jean did. So the salad green stalk is doing well. Jean had Thomas go into storage to get my red umbrella. I thought she wanted me to use it for my bistro table. Wait till you get a load of this nonsense, because this is not going to last. Jean is using it over top of her tower. Why, you might ask? I said to her, wait, so you're using the umbrella for over your tower? She said, well, yeah, you told me that the lettuce was going to bolt. I said, well, I put mine in the back in the shade. She doesn't have very much lettuce in here, but let me show you the lettuce that I gave her, the seeds. It is called, I'm not sure if I'm going to say it right, Elmalore lettuce. Looking good. Another one right here, big, enormous nasturtium that I gave her. And she only has this lettuce right here. And I told her to pick her radishes, and she has one that's bolted. Sunflower right there, but yeah, that's why she has it over. But it's causing some shade on my tower. So spinach, I'm probably going to cut that for her today. And this is just some Bib lettuce. These are those marigolds down here. I gave her some bush beans that are doing well. Swiss chard she still has. She did a lot of harvests off of hers. More spinach. And then I don't know if she's really going to stay with this, because when I said to her, yeah, certain things have to be pulled out and then you have to plant other things, she just looked like baffled. But as you can see, these are either the daikon radishes or, yep, and they're starting to bolt. So I'm gonna have to tell her to yank them out. But her tower is doing really well. Go Mel. This is red bell. I mean, she harvested some. There's two right there that are ready to be picked. And cabbage. I gave her red acre cabbage. She has like 1, 2, and this big one in here. So the other two are going to have to come out. But yeah, so that's what she's doing with my umbrella. She even got a stand for it. And I was like, why did you do that? I have one in storage. And these are still the 3 bags I have to return. But she's got an umbrella over hers, which does cause some shade. This is my one tower. Today I'm going to do these top 3. I was trying to find the watermelon that's smaller and I just can't find it. I feel like I'm missing one of those photo box keepers. But anyway, I showed this in a previous video. This is what the peppers are looking like. Here's a shishito, a sweet banana. This is probably orange bell. These are just going to be mysterious peppers because I grew them and there's no tags. And then this one's a jalapeno pepper. So another shishito and a sweet banana pepper. This one wasn't doing too good. It looks much better. Tomatoes, all different types of tomatoes are on this level, which are looking good. And I put basil in there just as a little bite, but that's looking good. So these three are still not done because it's, you know, between the holiday weekend and everything just got a little crazy. So I originally was talking about carrots and red beets. Now I want to use the two back ones, carrots and red beets. And yeah. So just thought I would show you that. And then do you want a tour of my green stalk vertical? Or I might do that one in a totally separate video as like week 1 update on how things are doing. This is technically a week on this one. So I will show you, I'll probably bring you along, plant something. I was thinking maybe some cantaloupe. And I wanted to do those little small watermelons, but I just can't seem to find the seeds, which is very unfortunate. So that's the tour this morning. I will bring you back to plant some seeds in here and to give you an update on how my leaf green stalk is doing. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so what do you think of the garden? Leave me a comment down below. And should I mulch around the onions? It's getting kind of weedy. Love yous all. I mean, it does look glorious, doesn't it? I love this lettuce. This lettuce is from Baker Creek. I'll show you how she wrote the spelling. Hopefully you can see that, because I don't know how to pronounce it. And then I gave her 2 sunflowers. This is the dwarf sunflower. And this one right here is the tiger eye sunflower. And I know where the seeds are to that, so I might start one for my green stalks. What am I going to do with my salad bowl? If it goes to seed, probably all beans. Probably all beans. And these are the dwarf Mariota. This one right here. Marigold. Yeah, so this whole bottom is marigolds, which is fine. So that's my update, garden update, and update on Jean's green stalk. Love yous all. Leave me a comment down below and let me show this. This is my petunias from Pam. Look at them. Doing fantastic. All right, my friends, I will catch you back in the garden sometime soon, because I want to see if I could squeeze some more things in there. And if I'm forgetting something for inside the garden, please leave me a comment down below. And I will catch you on the next video. Bye, friends.